I can actually see both of you in like the same size screen. And
Yeah, I do like that feature of it. Yeah.
yeah, I think that looks good.
Well, one pick wonders. I almost said big pick four. We are man down because we have two teams here picking myself and the office Ryan. Oh, now if I move my mouse, this other sidebar pops up and it hides Ryan's face. So I won't do that anymore. So and Danny D, the five head of knowledge, myself, the producer, and the office Ryan on the bottom. Danny, the five head of knowledge, on the top right. But I was remiss, 3 weeks ago when Rivers was laying on his back and got teabagged by the defender running for the touchdown with the ball. I thought that Brian would be aroused, harkening back to his rugby days when like he was getting teabagged as a form of hazing. So I thought when Rivers was getting run over by the defender running for the touchdown with the ball, that Ryan would have been like getting chubbed up on that.
I think that was high school.
No, that was when he was at Kutztown.
No, I think it was
rugby
high
at
school.
Kutztown.
Yeah, also when he was on the football team in high school. Some linebacker for the football team did it to some other kid. Or according to Brian, so he did some other kid.
No, but when he did rugby at Kutztown, he had to be involved where he was like.
That was the socks thing.
Well, he had to serve beer with just a sock on his member.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so maybe I'm getting it mixed up with the teabagging thing, but it's just a little shady across the board.
Well, maybe they did it both times. We don't know.
So, if you live a mile from the Pirates spring training stadium and you go to Goodwill, this is the kind of gear you can get. Check this out.
Oh, nice.
$7, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
$7. Looks like new.
It's not regular gear. I think it's from like a trainer or someone in the organization. It's not even. I don't think it's something you get off of MLB.com. It's like somebody got fired and gave it to Goodwill.
Scouts.
Yeah, right.
Scout or somebody, because I mean this is quality gear here. You know.
Yeah, the Phillies just did that. 20% of their staff got canned, and the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's poor form.
That's the timing when you go to Goodwill.
Yeah.
That's when I got this. Exactly. I said, this has got to be someone in the organization that dropped this off because it's not something you just go on MLB.com and buy.
No.
So
that looks nice.
That was a nice score for me. So this week we're looking at a couple picks. We've got some lined up. And we'll start with Danny D with your pick. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm holding up the fort here for me and the Buru, who cannot be with us this week for various reasons. We are taking the Chiefs minus 3.5 at Scott's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kansas City is just a lot better. I mean, it seems like Tampa Bay collapses in these big games against the Saints, against the Rams. They just don't play very well. They're kind of like the Ravens in a way. They beat up on the crappy teams. When they play someone of equal or better competition, they fold. I don't think Bruce Arians is much of a coach. He doesn't seem to know what he's doing with the talent that he has. Offensively, they should be much better than they are, but they're not. Their defense seems to just make mistakes. Their corners make mistakes. It just seems like they're always from behind. Nice. Oh my but the Chiefs have won 5 in a row, 9 of 10. They are 6-4 against the spread, whereas Tampa Bay is only 5 and 5. It's a small spread, and I expect Kansas City to cover. I just don't think Tampa Bay is going to be that. It's going to be competitive, but they can't stop Kansas City. Kansas City has too many weapons going on. Andy Reid's a better coach than Bruce Arians. What's his name? Mahomes is a better quarterback than Brady at this point. So I just think that they're going to cover 3.5. I put my money down. Fox Bet had one of the specials where it was plus 100. So for $5, I win $10. But I just, I just think Tampa's going to collapse. It could be another blowout. Who knows? The way they play against these good teams, they're not going to control Mahomes. And Tom Brady has had some real problems throwing the football. He had some real ugly throws last Monday. So I don't trust him right now. So I thought the Buru and I, we're going to go with Pittsburgh, but then that game keeps getting moved. And now nobody knows who the hell is even going to play in that game on Tuesday. If it gets played, which I think they're trying to push just to get played, even if they have some of the trainers out there playing. So we went the Chiefs as our second pick, and hopefully it comes through this week.
Where's the game being played?
Tampa.
It is in Tampa. And it's like it's a 4:00 start, 4:25 start.
Yeah, it's the national game. Everyone gets it except Denver for some reason.
It's interesting.
Tom Brady has earned back his mouthpiece from Buffalo. So I had to upgrade the helmet to reflect that. I think there's a lot of issues with the play calling actually too. It's not just the GOAT. I think there's some play calling issues where if RJ3 runs the ball and gets 1 yard and then we call the same play again, that's just bullshit play calling. He's got all those receivers. Why are we not throwing more passes? And they say, oh, you got to keep him honest. You got to do the run game just to keep him honest. That's bullshit. He could just sit back there in a shotgun and pass all day.
Yeah, but sometimes he misses
nonsense.
But also, it destroys your play-action game if you don't try to run the ball. You can't get anything down the field.
Not with Tom Brady, with all those receivers.
Well, how does that work?
Back there and air it out all day. That's what I would do. I think the play calling is bullshit from Arians. And
this is where the lack of the preseason hurt. Lack of the preseason. And they've had Godwin missed a couple games, didn't he? Did Mike Evans has been banged up?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, but they're all back now. They're all back.
But it's a matter of chemistry. They haven't been able to really build aren't they hurt on the offensive line a little bit too?
Yeah. Their center is out for the season. Might have a career-ending injury.
Yeah,
got hurt. Their guard Market, he's out. So they've been backed up on the offensive line too.
Well, their O-line has never been good all season. So
no, they have some problems.
Right, that's why you go shotgun and you just air it out. You go middle of the field and then you go deep and stop this run bullshit.
Well, Gronkowski's been a bit of a disappointment too, I think. He hasn't done a whole lot.
No, well, he's not. They're not utilizing him as much as they utilized him in New England.
I forget who it was saying that they need to focus on like 2 or 3 guys. Just focus on like Gronkowski and Mike Evans and somebody else. Everybody.
It's a bad problem to have, but it almost seems like they have too many weapons.
Yes, and they don't know what to do with them. And the offense is
what they're doing with them is running the ball with a terrible offensive line. And that's the exact opposite of what you need to be doing with them.
Right. If Andy Reid were coaching that team, they'd be throwing the ball almost every down.
Because I'm not saying you have to throw the long ball every play, but you've got slants and outs, you've got the middle of the field, and then you have the long ball. It's not like we're just going to air it out every play. No, but they're trying to have this huge running game with a shit ass offensive line, and it's not working.
Well, and I don't understand like the like I get it, Ronald Jones Jr. or Ronald Jones, the second.
Third.
What is third? Whatever he is.
Oh, he might be the second though. You're right.
I guess they were concerned, concerned about him, but and they bring in Leonard Fournette. I mean, and they have LaShawn McCoy who doesn't even get to touch the ball. Doesn't even touch the ball, which is fine. I mean, he's over. You hit that wall. But it's like maybe you don't break it up with Fournette as much as they have been. Just leave Jones in there until he can't go. Wear him the hell out. Who cares? Running backs.
Well, they tried that, but they were running the same play twice in a row with Jones up the middle to get a half yard. I mean, that's not going to work. You've got to use the run game when
better than what Matt Nagy's doing in Chicago. So
when you're short, when you're short yardage, I get the run game on a 3rd and short or something like that. But Brady's not going anywhere. He's going to stay in the pocket.
Right.
So you need to look at the outright routes, the slants over the middle, then the middle of the field, and then the long ball, and then the run game is just just when you need it. It's not part of your offensive strategy.
I think a lot of teams are using the Avalanche defense against them, so
That's right.
So that might not be helping.
You need to run some screens too.
Well, no, but they've been the most interesting thing that I didn't realize it now, and I don't know what the numbers are, but they've been absolutely terrible in primetime games so far this year. They lost to the Bears. They lost whatever. I think they've lost like 3 or 4 of their primetime games. So that's why I was curious why they're playing at 4 whatever on the East Coast.
Prime time game. It's not Sunday night.
Right. Mm-hmm. But it's a 4 o'clock game. I don't know why. Maybe it's past Brady's bedtime. I don't know. I mean, he's like what is he? 40 what? 41, 42?
43.
43? Well, shit, he's a year younger than me, so I get tired.
That's why. That's why they practiced at night.
Yeah.
Leading up to the Monday night game because they knew they were bad at night. So
they were still bad at night.
Yeah, they were terrible.
And they were still bad.
How many interceptions did he throw in that game? 2? 3?
3, I think.
The one guy had 2 of them though, didn't he? One guy had like 2.
Yeah, and the Chiefs have a good defense.
Yeah, they do. I'm not playing them this week. I have them in fantasy. I'm playing Miami against the Jets, but I would have no problem if I didn't. I would be starting them if I didn't have the Miami defense. So
Dan, you're at like a -3.5 on them.
Yeah, it was -3.5.
Yeah, I'll have to bet that. I couldn't bet it. I was in a state currently where I could not place any bets.
Well, myself and the office had a great pick, which is New Orleans, but they've been pulled off the board because
Denver
doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
They should cancel that game. That's ridiculous.
No way, man. I wouldn't. I'd be pissed if I'm New Orleans. I'd be like, screw them. That's their fault. Like they don't have a guy. Do they not have a guy on the practice squad, or was the practice squad guy? Because doesn't like in Philly. I don't know what his name is. He lives in Texas, and he doesn't practice with the team.
He signed with Houston.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because they did have somebody like that was isolating and working out on his own. Josh McCown. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Tebow? They could call Tebow up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not in football shape. He might be in shape. He's not in football shape, though.
No, but it doesn't make sense to have your third quarterback in isolation somewhere and stay away from everything else.
Totally.
You don't run into this.
They shouldn't be
The
near.
NFL is going to be closing facilities on Monday and Tuesdays now. They can't open until Wednesday. They cut down the amount of contact. There aren't any intensive protocols. San Francisco can't play at home because they're kicked out.
Why can't they play at home?
Santa Clara County prohibited all contact sports in the county for 3 weeks. They tried
Oh, really?
Red, yeah. So
Okay.
they
I hadn't seen that, so I hadn't been online to look at a bunch of stuff. So
and they have 2 home games, so they're gonna have to move them. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I guess
yeah. Well, Maggie was looking because she's got a couple of players on Pittsburgh on her fantasy team, and she's like, "Oh, great! Now Pittsburgh players are getting COVID because Juju and Chase Claypool came out and were pissed that the game was getting pushed back from. They were all prepared to go on Thursday. They were pissed that Baltimore wasn't taking care of themselves. You know what I mean? So because Lamar Jackson's going to be out.
Yes, he's out. A bunch of guys are out.
Jackson's got COVID, so he's out.
A bunch of guys on Pittsburgh have it too.
Yeah, they're like, it's like, guys, stay safe. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
that game's on Tuesday now.
Yes. Yeah.
It was originally scheduled for Thursday.
Yeah.
Originally a Thursday. It was supposed to be the Thursday night primetime game.
Yeah. So there's no Thursday game next week. But if the NFL needs to make it through 5 weeks? 5 more weeks, and then they can bubble for the playoffs after that.
Yeah.
First round, and then bubble after that.
Well, they're talking like if they have to cancel this that game on Tuesday, if they decide to end up canceling it, they're talking about doing
week 18,
a 16 team playoffs.
Yes, but also do a week 18. If there's only a couple games that have to be made up, just do it 1 week, get rid of them, and say okay, and then just go.
That's why, yeah. But, I mean, it's a little crazy.
But Pittsburgh was going to play Thursday.
Yeah.
And now they have to play Tuesday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's huge. Somebody's game. No, that's right. The Ravens and Cowboys got moved to next Monday. So the Ravens would have 6 days to prepare for their game.
No, I'm talking about Pittsburgh. Now they have to play Tuesday and Sunday. They were going to play Thursday and Sunday. Now they have to play Tuesday and Sunday.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Because of the Ravens.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like in a couple weeks the vaccine is going to be approved by the FDA. I know people wouldn't like it, but why doesn't it be nice if the NFL is able to get that, inoculate their players, and then to say, okay.
No, screw them. Who cares? Who cares about them? Give it to us. You know what I mean? Like, give it to the real people.
Well, they're going to give it to the frontline workers first.
They should. 100%. Yeah, I don't give a damn. my sister, she's a nurse at where they do it's a lot of breast cancer stuff. So so she's constantly, she doesn't go anywhere. She can't go she doesn't go anywhere at all. And they get tested every week. It's pretty tough, so.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, definitely. And then there are people that are, even the hospitals and stuff definitely should get that first.
Oh yeah. The nurses, the doctors, and then they said they're going to give it to police officers, teachers, EMS people, all the frontline people.
Yeah. Yeah. Maggie, they shut down Montgomery County shut down schools for 2 weeks, the week before Thanksgiving. Well, last Monday. They said it was going to be for 2 weeks. I felt like they should have shut it down. Like I think everybody was off on Wednesday. So they had Monday and Tuesday. They should have shut it Wednesday. You know what I mean? Shut it down this week and next week. That's 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, and then go back. But so it's probably they're not going to end up going back. That's bad. I don't know if you saw. She wrote an article for her school paper, and it got picked up by the local online website here. Posted her article and the opposing article because she did. Schools should be open at least in hybrid. The other kid said they should be totally remote. So that was pretty cool. I was a pretty happy dad moment. So
yeah, nice, good for her.
Congrats, yeah, that's great.
Thanks.
And congratulations to Scott. The old woman in Detroit brought out the axe.
Oh yeah.
Did Patty get fired?
Yeah, and the GM.
Both are out.
And the GM.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell.
They should be fired. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out what the hell they're doing with the Jets. Why the Jets have waited so long?
Because
I'll keep Stafford, but that Patricia, they said that his defense from the time he became head coach just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And he was a
Yeah.
defensive coach. So how are you going to
Right.
coach the whole team now?
Right.
When
He
you can't even have a good defense.
well, and I'll tell you a lot of it. I think a lot of it had to do with like when he was in New England, his defense was pretty decent in New England because of Belichick. And them picking
Yeah.
up, them getting players the work that Belichick can do with like people off the scrap heap is amazing. I mean, yeah, they suck this year, but whatever. I mean, they're okay. They're just not. They're not. There's too many variables going on right now this year to really make them successful. But Belichick has been able to pull in players who may be past their prime and resurrecting them. Matt Patricia's not that guy.
They took
So.
him because he called in a defensive back to, the last play of the Super Bowl when Seattle was trying to win the game. And then they're going to base a whole
Malcolm Butler
head coach starting position on that? No.
But
wasn't he luck of the draw?
Didn't somebody like accept the job and back out, or was that the Indianapolis game? The Indianapolis.
That was, Indianapolis. What happened was Patricia and what's his face were supposed to leave New England after the Eagles Super Bowl in whatever it was 2017.
Right.
Patricia went to Detroit after that game, and look what happened to him. And the what's his face stayed there in New England. He's still there.
Right.
But Patricia started coaching. Patricia coached for Belichick, or he started as an underling for Belichick. He was like a community college coach.
Yeah, and he was an offensive lineman in college when he played.
I mean,
he was no line.
I mean, he was no pedigree like you see some of these head coaches that come up through the ranks. He was like a community college coach. Belichick took a liking to him.
He's going to get paid. He got fired. He's got a contract. I don't know how long his contract was for, but good for him.
Yeah, right.
Well, doesn't have to work.
He'll be like Rex Ryan's brother. He'll find another D job somewhere.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked if he's in New England before the end of the year to go
and
back
then
there.
Screw that up too. Just like Rex Ryan's brother, he's going to become one of these guys. Or like a Marty Morningwig. He'll pop up somewhere. Or like a Jim Zorn, he'll pop up somewhere.
Where's Morningwig? I just saw Morningwig somewhere. Where the hell is he at?
Here.
Where? In Philly?
Yeah, it's with the Eagles. So
that's where I saw him at. Okay, I couldn't remember where I saw him in the booth. They showed him in the booth somewhere. I was like, oh my god! But I couldn't remember what game. I was watching Red Zone. Who watches football games? I watch Red Zone.
What is he doing for the Eagles though?
I think he's the offensive coordinator, probably, right?
No, it's just a consultant, whatever that's. And you can tell by their offense how great a job he's doing.
They blow.
What's his job? He's a what?
Consultant. He's just an offensive consultant, whatever that means.
They're terrible.
I want that job.
Me too.
Yeah, right.
I want to be the get back coach like Brian. They don't make it.
Right.
No,
I can't take another pay cut.
They overcomplicate things in the NFL where you have these quarterbacks with this dictionary on their arm. Eventually they're going to have a fucking iPad on their arm.
Yeah.
It's like
no, that's coming.
Nobody needs that shit. Call
they overcomplicate
the damn play. We don't need, and then the coaches now are standing there on the sidelines with masks on, and they're still taking the play sheet and covering their mouth.
Right.
You have a mask on, and they're still covering their face.
I guess they're those creatures
with the laminated sheet, they're still covering their face. And funny. You had Tom Landry and Vince Lombardi and business suits standing on the sidelines with their arms crossed and just coaching the team. They didn't need all this shit, with laminated boards covering their face, and then the quarterback's got a little fold-out thing on his arm. It's all bullshit. If you let me run a team, I would go back old school, big time. We wouldn't even need all that bullshit.
You probably only have 4 plays.
That's right. It's all you need.
Well, no.
I played Tecmo Bowl. I played Tecmo Bowl last night. My sister and her boyfriend brought over the Nintendo, the one where it's got like all the games built in, and I play. It's got literally you've got a run one, a run two, a pass one, a pass two. That's it. It was great. I sucked, but it was great. It was
Well,
awesome.
the only thing I heard that's come out good with all this modern crap in the NFL was that somebody mentioned that I forget what team it is. They have what they call the amoeba defensive backfield, where they, when the quarterback's calling the snap count, the defensive backs, linebackers, they just kind of wander around in aimless circles because the quarterback has no idea what they're going to do. He has no idea if they're going to do man-to-man or they're going to do a zone. And it's called the amoeba defense. So all your secondary players, prior to the ball being snapped, they just kind of wander around aimlessly. They don't set, they just kind of roam around in circles. And they're like, when you're a quarterback and you're trying to audible, you have no idea what they're going to do. But as soon as you snap the ball, they're going to zap into either a blitz or a zone coverage or a man-to-man. But they're calling it the amoeba, the amoeba defense.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because you're not set, because the defense gets set and the quarterback audibles. Oh, yeah, watch this guy, watch that guy, watch that guy. Oh, yeah, that's audible this, audible that. And so if you have everybody except your down lineman just kind of roaming around in circles, you can't figure out what the defense is. And they're just waiting for you to snap it. And then they're going to go into whatever defense they had planned. But the quarterback, how are you going to audible that when guys are just like swarming around in circles in the backfield?
Right.
I think that's genius. They're calling it the amoeba defensive backfield. I forget what NFL. No, but it's an NFL team. I forget which one's doing it, but one of the teams is. Yeah.
That's cool.
So let's get to myself, the producer, and the office's pick. We're taking the Browns.
The Browns.
Wow, it's the first time for everything.
Seriously, this isn't your 0-16 Browns though.
The old AFC Central, right?
North.
The Browns, the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Oilers, right?
Ravens.
No, I'm talking about the original NFL, AFC Central. The Browns, the Steelers, the Bengals,
What
and
about
the
the
Oilers.
Steelers?
Yeah, that was the old AFC Central.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Browns of old would have definitely fallen on their face in this trap game against the Jags, but they're much sterner now. They had to battle the weather and the Eagles last week to move to 7-3 and are closing on the playoff berth. First berth in 18 years. Even with Mayfield blowing hot and cold, their rushing attack has been enough to see them over the line. This Sunday clash should be a case of rinse and repeat for the Browns. The Jags have proved durable in defense, limiting Pitt to 27 points, but they slumped to a ninth straight loss. So we're gonna go to the punch here. Just go to my final point on this game, which is even with Cleveland missing their two best D players, being Garrett and Ward, the Browns are still more than a touchdown better than the Jaguars.
Yeah. I mean, no, and I looked at it too. I was a little hesitant, but then I looked at it a little bit closer. I mean, you got to remember Nick Chubb is back. What's this, week 2 back? Week 2 or 3. So, and Kareem Hunt was doing a pretty good job too while he was out. Mayfield, the passing game's not huge, but they're the number 3 rushing team in the NFL. And the Jaguars have the second worst defense. They're 31st. They are starting Mike Glennon tomorrow. Mike Glennon. All right. Who
else
former
did he play
Tampa Bay
for?
Buccaneer, I might add. If memory serves me correctly.
Didn't he play for the Buccaneers at one point?
He did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He played for the Bucs. He was supposed to be the stopgap in Chicago for Mitch Trubisky. That didn't work out too well. He went to Arizona, I think, and now he's in Jacksonville. I don't think he provides them any upside. They should have just kept going with that young kid. I forget his Lutton, whatever his name is, since Minshew's out. The defense sucks. It does. They're actually going to be missing, I think, couple guys on offense though too. Keenan Cole, I think, is out. Oh no, was it Cole?
Conley.
No, Chark is out, I think.
Chark and Conley are out.
Okay. They've got that young kid that's pretty exciting. I forget his first name. Robinson. He's got over 1,000 scrimmage yards, and he's like was he undrafted? I can't remember. He's either undrafted or like 6th round pick or something like that.
Something like that.
He's probably the lone bright spot on their season thus far. But I just don't. Let me just. There was a number I was looking at that I thought was interesting. Yeah, I mean, Cleveland's passing offense is 31st, but when you're the third, when you're the third overall rushing offense, you don't really need to pass the ball as much. The scoring wise, it doesn't really dictate a 7-point spread. They're both they're about 3.6 points apart average wise, but Jacksonville sucks. Again, they are what is this shit? They're the 31st. They give up 411 yards a game. That's a lot. I think somebody was. Is it them or is it somebody else that is that's on the verge of breaking the record? Isn't that like a record? Whoever's 32nd probably is the one breaking the record.
Is that Seattle?
I don't remember if it's Seattle.
The guys back. So.
Is Seattle playing this week?
Yeah, they play against the Eagles on Monday.
Oh, that's right. Okay, let's see. Now Seattle's given up. No. Oh, that's the Eagles. I'm sorry. Yes, it is Seattle. Seattle's 32nd, 434.9 yards a game. But most of it's in the air. But anyway, with the Browns, these aren't your 0-16 Cleveland Browns. They actually have a little fight to it, kind of led by their quarterback there. He's a feisty guy. I know people don't like him. I don't mind him. I would take him on the Bears. He's better than what they got. I mean, I would. He always seems to have some fight in him. And he at least shows it. What's that?
I'm not saying much. Take him over.
Oh, it's not. It's not. But he Trubisky starts tomorrow for the Bears. But Mayfield, I think Mayfield's a competitor. So I think he should. He can do what he needs. He's actually got his numbers aren't like great, but they're not terrible either, though. I mean, I think he's thrown he's got 15 touchdown passes to only 7 interceptions. So that's really 2-to-1 ratio. That's not bad. That's really not bad.
No, that's what you want.
Yeah. So, they'll be all right. I think they cover. They're going to cover. I'm putting money down. I was in the car. I wasn't able to place the bet yet, so I'm going to do it tonight. So.
Yeah, I got them at 7. They opened at 6.5.
Yeah, I'll bet. I was going to try to bet on that New Orleans game. They took it off. They took everything. They don't. All the props are gone too.
The Jags are averaging a shade over 20 points per game this season, 5th worst in the NFL.
Yeah.
Cleveland is hovering at 24-point mark. So that's where we're at. All right, good luck, fellas. We're picking the who are the Bucks playing again, Danny?
Chiefs.
The
Chefs.
Yeah, Chefs.
Yes.
With the big red tomato and who are we picking?
The chefs.
And we're picking the brownies.
Browns. We're going with the Browns.
Good luck, fellas.
All right,
All right,
luck
good
Next
luck.
week.
All right.
Take care.